Well, thank you for being here, for being on time. Yeah, I'm sorry for last week. I was having problem with my electricity first. That was a big problem. It was a problem with my billing. I actually pay my bills through the app, my bank app, but there was a problem with my payments. So it turned out that it wasn't my building, which I first thought it was my bank app that never processed the payment. So yeah, it was a big mistake, but it's solved now. Then I got food poisoning, which is something that it used to happen a lot previously in my life, but now it hadn't happened in a long time, so it was surprising. Now I'm still on a soft diet, like eating not so delicious food, but yeah, I'm recovering. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for for understanding all those things that happened last week. It was not intended to be so. And yeah, we are going to make it up to those classes. I have a plan that I'm going to tell you about. And I also have a plan for the essay because I'm still reviewing some essays. Yeah, I'm still reviewing the exams because yeah, there's a lot of texts that I need to read. So yeah, I've been working on all of those things on my own pace. But yeah, we'll talk about that. Today's main objective, though, is to interview your classmate, and I'm going to have you do something about it, okay? And it's going to be a class project. We need to finish it today, and I'm going to tell you how it is going to work, all right? So first, we are going to start by talking about what's going to happen in the with these missed classes in the weeks that we have left. Also with the essay, the exams, everything. And then we are going to work with this class project, which I'm hoping is going to be very funny and interesting for everybody. Let's hope so. So let's start by talking about the objectives. So the deal here is that we missed 2 classes last week, which is quite important because you know that we are about to finish this term. So yeah, it's kind of a complicated thing to do. I was terribly sorry when all those things happened that last week because yeah, it is important not to miss the classes. But anyways, since we are here and we missed the classes already, there's nothing we can do. I was thinking that I'm going to take those classes as extra classes when we finish because let me share my screen. So we got to this point where we talked about used to and would, and then we have making deductions as another objective. And this is the next thing that I want to study with you, and I want us to study this together because this is something new. This is something that we haven't done before in this course. For example, if we go to the next objectives, which is passive forms, we have studied the passive voice. So we need a review, but that is something that we have covered. Last term, in the previous course, we talk about conditionals. So that is something also that we studied, and it's something that, again, we need to review, but it's not something completely new. Then we also talked about indirect questions last semester. We called them in this class embedded questions. We did that, we covered it. So yeah, it's something that we need to review, but it's not something that we need to do in class specifically. So I'm going to prioritize these ones, making deductions with modal verbs, because you know modal verbs in English are quite tricky and they are important. So I prefer to cover that in the next classes. And also I would like to have some time with you talking about the passive voice, because that's also an important thing to do. But yeah, that's definitely going to be covered. And also, I would like to do some reported speech in class because, yeah, this is kind of an important topic and it's quite tricky. So it would be good to have it in class. Then I was thinking that with the 2 classes that we missed, if we don't have the time to do it over the time that we are going to be together, I was thinking that I could have some classes recorded. So once we finish, you can, if you want to, you can review those topics by watching the classes. It's going to be like in a puzzle, like all the other classes that we have in this sense. Because yeah, when you know that when we work on the book, we never have the time to cover all the 10 units. But since this is our last class, our last course together, I would like to finish all the topics, even if it's out of the time that we have scheduled, because you are still going to have some access to the classes. Even if then you don't have access to LMS or whatever happens, I can still send you the link and you can still study. You are going to still have access to Drive for at least some period of time after the class. So yeah, it's not going to be so much of a problem to keep in touch. All right, so yeah, that's what I was thinking on doing. So we are going to keep on working on these objectives, and well, my plan is to leave these 2 topics for these makeup classes that we can have as asynchronous classes after we are done with the essays and the exams and everything else. All right, so that's my plan. Of course, it's something that it's there on the table. If you have another idea or if you don't like my idea, feel free to tell me. If not right now, you can write to me a message. So yeah, it is something that we can keep discussing. It's not a problem. But that's my first idea so far. All right, so yeah, that's what I think about this. Then I have to talk to you about the exam. You know that it was a written exam, so it has taken me ages to read all the responses and to correct them all. Like I take at least 45 minutes per person, so it takes a long time. Each day I'm reviewing some of your answers. At first I was doing it on the platform because yeah, I thought it would be a good idea, but the platform is so tricky. It takes me ages to finish. So I decided to paste all of your answers into a private document, well, your folders on Drive, and that's where I'm reviewing your answers and making the corrections. All right, so for example, this afternoon I was working on this one. All right, so where is it? What I am doing is creating this one. As you can see here, it's called second exam feedback. So what I've been doing is to copy and paste your answers, and then I am correcting your texts here. All right, so for question 1, and here I am creating the corrections because on the platform it's so tricky. It takes me so much more time. So yeah, I'm sorry, but this is the way that I found to correct your answers. It's not as easy as it used to be on Neo. Neo was so much friendly, but this new platform is not so friendly. So yeah, I'm trying to make the corrections of your exams here. As you can see, all the texts are being corrected. Okay, I have corrected a few which don't have many mistakes. So in those cases, I have made a few comments and just pasted them, actually graded them on the platform. In those answers where I find more mistakes or things that I need to correct, I am going to be creating the documents here. So yeah, I have graded some that didn't need much correction. So I left them on the platform anyways. All right, so yeah, this is how your exam is going to be corrected. As I said, it's so much easier for me now, and yeah, you can save the corrections there. And you can see exactly what I want you to replace, for example. So yeah, it's kind of a more friendly platform here for me, and also for you when you want to review whatever I've done with your texts. All right, so still I'm going to ask you to be patient. I'm hoping that by Friday maybe I'm going to be finished with all of the exams, but it's taken me some time because I need to read a lot of texts. They are quite long. And yeah, I need to be focused because if I don't read carefully, then I don't see the mistakes. So yeah, it takes some time. Also, I think in this one also, yeah, I worked on this one. With your essays, yeah, I know that we had a submission for last Saturday. I couldn't be with you that day, but I am still reviewing them. Someone wrote to me and asked me, yeah, what do we know now? And I need you to finish your essays. Well, not your essays, your outlines. I'm still reviewing. Most of them are okay. I didn't see much trouble. Whenever I saw something that needed to be changed, I noted it. But yeah, most of them are just ready to continue. So yeah, whatever you have done so far, if, for example, in all of these parts, I haven't commented anything, it's because it's all right. I just need you to develop a little bit, but yeah, it's not much of a problem. Wherever I commented, it's where I have some doubts or some corrections to make. But yeah, once you have finished, for example, this outline, it's almost ready. I have some comments there that need to be taken care of. But yeah, once you finish your outline, whatever you have to do is just copy this because it's almost ready. Let me just show you. And then I'm going to be answering your questions. Give me a second. All right, so what's going to happen when you have your outline ready is that you have to transform it into an essay, right? So instead of having the title outline, what you need to have is your real title. I don't know what the title of this essay is, but yeah, you need to write your own title, whichever that is. I'm not going to name it now because yeah, it's not mine. But for example, I know this is about traveling, I don't know, cruise traveling. Of course, if you want to be more creative than me, feel free to do it. And please be more creative than me, right? So cruise traveling. And then you have the introduction. Of course, in the introduction, you're not going to have the attention getter. You are not going to have these subtitles, all right? So the only thing that you need to do is to correct the mistakes that I showed, and then you have to delete the subtitles because we don't need them. Maybe you are going to need a subtitle. Well, it's not a subtitle, it's like a title for the body paragraphs. So instead of saying body paragraphs, you can say something else. Like, again, I'm not very creative, so you can have something more creative that tells me that this is the second part. And then instead of having this first argument, you have to take this out, of course, and then you have to start writing. All right, so you have this, maybe you can join these two sentences together, and then you have to continue writing your essay, whatever else you need to say about this. All right, so yeah, of course you can have images or whatever you want. And then yeah, of course you have your conclusion sentence, which is going to be the last thing that you write here. All right, so yeah. Before finishing, of course, you have to make it a little longer. Then, of course, this second argument is just there for you to remember what you are writing about, but if you already know, then you again have to take it out. You have your, of course, you are going to take this out, and then you have to join all your ideas together, right? If there's something to be written between those two ideas, of course, you need to write it in order to make sense. And that's pretty much it. You know, this is almost ready. The only thing that needs is that you need to finish those sentences that are not quite finished yet, right? Finally, we have the last argument. Again, the only thing that you need to do is take out the subtitles and make sure that this is well written, is a well written argument, and that's pretty much it, right? So again, with the conclusion, I think this conclusion is almost ready also, because you don't need a big conclusion. Something like this, well written again with the good connectors and everything, this is finished, all right? So whenever you have finished writing your essay, your outline, sorry, you will have your essay ready. As you can see, cross-traveling, you have the introduction. Then you can have the subtitle, body paragraphs, or any other. Then here you have the body paragraphs. It's everything developed. You need to develop more the ideas and the conclusion, and that's it. All right, so that is the reason why we wrote an outline. So you're gonna have like half of the work ready, and then the only thing that you need to do is to connect some ideas, rewrite things that are not so correct, focus on these mistakes or things that I pointed out, and that's it, right? So after that, your essay will be almost ready. Yeah, of course, this is something that I'm going to delete later, because yeah, I'm using this just as an example because it's the last one that I wrote, that I read this morning. Yeah, so now it's time for questions. I saw someone who wanted to ask a question, so tell me now.
Hi, good night.
Hey, Marilena, tell me.
Sorry, I forgot how many pages we have to write. We will have to write. Thank you.
Good. As a difference from the essay and the exam, because if you remember on the exam, I gave you a word limit in all of the questions. In the essay, I'm not going to give you word limit or page limit. It's your decision. So if you think that with 2 pages you are done, I agree with you, okay? I don't care about the quantity, I care about the quality, okay? You can have 2 arguments or 3 arguments, it's your decision. As long as they are well written, as long as you are actually saying something in your arguments, as long as you are respecting the introduction, body, and conclusion part, it's not going to be important. What I care about is, as I said, quality. It's well written, it's your work, it's not taken from any source, it's not written by the IA, etc. Yeah, it's going to be fine. So yeah, it could be, of course, I'm expecting more than a page. 1 page is, it's too little, but yeah, 2, 3, whatever you feel like writing. It's not a problem about quantity. Of course, when we are talking about quantity, it has to be more than 1 argument though, right? So for example, if your introduction, it's only 1 or 2 or 3 paragraphs, that's okay. I mean, it's perfect. If this is your introduction, fair enough. The biggest part needs to be on the body paragraphs, okay? Because that part is where you are going to show me that you can actually write your ideas, state your opinion. Okay, so that's why I'm asking for at least 2 arguments in the body paragraphs. Okay, so I'm expecting more information here. So this one needs to be longer. And then a conclusion, 1 paragraph is enough. I mean, what else can you say in the conclusion? You don't need to add anything new. So yeah, it's just to wrap up. So like all the information where you are going to show me that you know how to write in English, it's in the body paragraphs. So yeah, make sure you have at least 2 arguments. Yeah, more questions? More complaints? All right. Also, if you have a specific doubts, write to me and I can help you out with your specific doubts. Yeah, but as I've mentioned, most of the outlines that I've read don't have many problems about the format or anything. It's just a few words that you need to have a look at. It's not more than that. All right. So what we need to do now is to keep working. If you haven't finished, finish your outline and then start writing your essay. That's it. As I said, the essay writing is going to be the easiest part because you have already thought things through. So yeah, that's how it works right now. And of course, once you have finished writing your essay, you will have to think about your video, because of course you need to share a video with us about your essay. I'm going to show you some video essays that I have seen, and they are quite good. So maybe they can inspire you in order to talk about your essays. Yeah, good. Questions? Comments? Complaints? Let me check this out. Or maybe no, I have already made some changes. Okay. Yeah, good. So now we need to keep on working. As I said, we had a second submission of the outline. I'm not going to take that into account, although I'm going to still be reviewing your essays because yeah, we don't. If we postpone the second submission, then I'm going to have you waste time, valuable time that you can be using on writing your essay instead of making another submission. Yeah, Marcelo, tell me.
Thanks. Hi, Valeria. Good evening. According to the first classes slides, there is another level before this one called expert English or something like that. This will not be able to ask. This is the last course.
No, actually, this is the expert level.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yes, now you are the experts. Yes. Yes.
I thought we are in advanced English.
No, advanced was the previous course. Yeah, this one is the expert
Okay.
one. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. There is another level for the book Startup 8. We should be using a Startup 7. Yeah, there is one, but my boss told me that we never teach those courses on this uni. I'm not really sure why, but yeah, that's why this is the last one. Yeah, Alejandra, tell us.
Thank you, Val. Hello to everybody. I would like to know to which level this course corresponds. I mean, it's B1, B2. I'm pretty sure it's not C1. And well, I hope it's not A2, which is, please.
Yes, it's, let me see if I have it here. It's better if I show you. It's not here. It's not there. Oops.
18,
Is it
18 page 18.
Page 18? Is it on the one that I was showing?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Good, thank you. Thank you for your help. Yeah, this is the one. It's B2. But it's B2 minor, if you wish, because it's like the beginning of B2. Yeah, this is like the especializado one. The expert would be B2 without any other sign after that, because that would be like the end of B2. The one that we don't teach is well, the expert one, because it's the last book that we have never taught in this well, at least in our university. And also we never get to the C level, because that's like for natives, right? So yeah, that's where we are right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So good news is not A1, which is a little late to mention, but yeah, it's not A1. Yes, could it be the chance to follow the next levels? Would you ask? Yeah, I'm going to ask my boss. I'm going to ask her what are the chances, or maybe another level, I don't know. Yep, I'm going to ask her, because also this semester we are working on a project of an English club only for speaking purposes. So maybe we could have something like that. I don't know. If something comes up, of course, I'm going to let you guys know. Yeah, because it's always good to have somewhere to practice with people that are interested in the language. Remember that if we stop practicing, that's where we may fail. All right, so yeah, it would be good, even if we don't have a like a proper course. Maybe we could have something like for us to practice. Like we can find some people who are really interested in practicing, and we can get together sometimes and yeah, have some topics to discuss. Yeah, because it is important to practice, I understand. Yeah. And yeah, of course you are going to still have be able to contact me anytime that you need my help or etc. So yeah, I'm here for you, and we can work on something in order to keep on practicing. Yeah, good. Oh, sorry, Marcelo.
No. If this was if this one was the last class, we have to organize the graduation party or something like that.
We need that. We definitely need that. Yeah, we've been together for so many semesters. We deserve a graduation party. I like it. I'm
A
going to.
simultaneous one in every city.
Yeah, I like it. I like it very much. I was actually thinking about something. Well, I'm not going to give you any details about it because it's going to be something that we need to do. But yeah, definitely, our last class is going to be something that we need to plan, of course. Of course.
Good.
Yeah. More comments, questions, complaints, doubts? Sorry. Okay. So today I was thinking about making a little pause in our class, because yeah, I told you that we are going to keep on working on models of deduction, which is one of my favorite topics. I really love models of deduction. It's really fun. But before doing that, I wanted to make a break and have you work on a class project, right? So what I want you to do tonight is to interview your classmate. That's my class project of today. So what I want you to do is to be able to talk to someone who's asking you questions and tell stories, because we have already studied narrative tenses. We have studied the present perfect. We have studied all the question forms. So yeah, I want you to put all those structures into use. Let me go back. We have comparison superlatives. Yeah, we can talk about the future also, etc. And you have the verb patterns. So I have noticed that many of you are using verb patterns correctly. So that's parentheses. But yeah, thank you very much for paying attention to that. I have seen some changes. So yeah, good for you. So yeah, we have like a background of structures that we have been practicing. Before the test, I remember that I had you tell stories to your classmates. And the comment that I heard in most of the cases was like, it is so difficult to tell stories. I cannot do it. I don't know how to do it. So yeah, I want to focus on telling stories. This is your chance. to speak. So what's going to happen? You are going to interview your classmates and you are going to have to ask these questions. I've already prepared the questions, right? Some of them are very serious about your career. Some of them are very silly, like, are you afraid of ghosts? It depends, all right? So it's not only to like a very formal interview, it's just to practice vocabulary. And of course, I want you to be able to take notes. When you interview your partner, I want you to take notes, whatever notes that you want, because after that, next class, I want you to share about your classmate with the rest of the group, all right? So we are going to start by you speaking about your classmate, okay? So tonight, you are speaking about yourself. You are talking about whether you are afraid of ghosts or not, or you are going to tell me about yourself. But next class, you are going to be able to share with the group about another person. Okay, so that's why I call it a class project, because first, you have to do the interview. Second, you have to be ready to share with the group. And of course, it's going to be evaluated. All right, so yeah, pay attention to this activity because it's kind of an important one. Yeah, be ready to share. I want you to speak. That's my biggest goal here. I want you to speak. Yeah, so I'm going to share this very document. Of course, it's available on Drive, but I'm still going to share it with you because it's just for you. Well, yes, just let go. I want you just to have the questions there, but I don't want you to write there because it's going to be the same document for everybody. What you can do is download it into your computer, or you can copy it into your personal folder on Drive, and you can keep working there on Drive, okay? I'm not going to be evaluating, sorry, whatever you write, okay? That's not my goal. I'm going to be evaluating your speaking tonight, and you're speaking next class. All right. So if you are going to interview your partner and you just write a few things like doctor, UCB, 15 years, just things that are going to help you to remember, that's fine. Okay. You don't need to write sentences. You don't need to write anything, because this time I'm not evaluating your writing. I'm evaluating only your speaking, which is something we didn't do last exam also. Okay, so yeah, that's what you need to do. One person asks first, then the second person asks second, and both of you need to share your answers. Remember that I'm going to be evaluating your speech next class when you introduce. Let's imagine that tonight I worked with Marcelo. So next class, I'm going to be talking to everybody about Marcelo. So I'm going to say, well, this is Marcelo. He is, and whatever he shared about himself, what he loves about his career is this. The qualities he has gained are those. He isn't afraid of ghosts because, etc. All right, so I'm not going to be talking about myself next class. That's why you need to be ready. Okay, ask me your questions. Do we have questions here? Suggestions? Complaints? Alrighty, so we have, I think we need, let me see. Okay, yeah, I have created the rooms. Of course, I'm going to be visiting you as always. Ask me questions. I'm going to be paying more attention to WhatsApp this time. Okay, so yeah, you can contact me there too. Let's go then. Good luck, everybody. Hope this works. Okay, I think everybody's back. Yeah, it was a nice exercise. I liked it very much. Thank you everybody for practicing, for sharing stories. Those of you who finished earlier with the questions and continued talking, that's kind of my goal here, because I want you to speak English, to discuss different topics. Some people were talking about education, they were sharing life experiences. So yeah, that's really cool. I really appreciate it. I'm very proud of all of you, of course. And yeah, let me just tell you, next class we are going to start by sharing this exercise with the rest of the class. So please, if you can show us your camera, that would be lovely. We would love to see you. Be ready with your audio, of course, because you have to speak with the rest of the class. Remember that you are not talking about yourself, you are talking about another person. So be careful with the S at the end of the verb. So for example, he lives in that place, he likes, he does, he works. Okay, so I'm going to be paying attention to those little details. Remember, do not pronounce the E at the end of the verbs and some adjectives. So don't say he lived in Cochabamba, say he lived in Cochabamba. So careful with those little things that make big details at the end. What else? I'm going to have a spinning wheel with your names on it. So when it's your turn to speak, only God knows, you are going to be subjected to the spin wheel. So good luck, everybody. And I hope it's fun for everybody to be sharing this information, to be talking about your classmates. Yeah, my main goal is that you can also prove to yourself that you can speak English. All right, so you're bilingual people and you have come to this point in order to share what you know. All right, so yeah, be ready. Don't be so nervous. It's just another activity that we do in English class. Again, thank you very much, everybody, for coming tonight. I really appreciate it. And if you have extra questions, stay with me a little longer. Otherwise, you may go and I'll see you back next class. Thank you.
Thank you, Valeria.
Bye-bye, Val. Bye
Bye,
to
Val.
everybody.
Bye, Ale.
Bye, thank you.